Hello, and welcome to our second in the series, Me, Myself, and AI, where we empower you, the leaders of tomorrow, to use AI and to leverage it strategically to succeed in your career and in your business. Begonia will not be joining me today, but her digital avatar will, and we will see her in a few minutes when we talk about strategic LinkedIn presence, which is the topic of today's series. So, what's on the agenda for today? First, we'll discuss what's new in AI. So we said we are going to do this sessions once in a month. So we'll discuss what was new in what happened in February. And then I'm going to present you the AI leadership roadmap. It's the custom program that we designed with together with Piconia, with Networtech, to empower you to leverage AI in your day-to-day life and in your career. And then we are going to dive deep into the different use cases for LinkedIn, which is the topic of today's show. I hope I'm audible and that you can hear me well. Otherwise, please let me know in the comments. And if everything is fine, that I'm going to go and let's talk about what's new in AI. Last month, we talked a lot about DeepSeek. During this month, we've seen a lot of new models coming in. So we've seen a new Claude 3.7 reasoning model, a new Grok model, even new ChatGPT 4.5 model, which we do not have yet in Europe, I believe, or only the pro users. So the users who pay $200 a month actually have it. And so what are the reasoning models essentially? If you can think about, I found that picture very well describing it. So the traditional models, they're trained on huge amounts of data. And typically, if you would ask it some sort of logical or mathematical question, the model would be like, okay, let's check my huge knowledge. What is 2 + 2? It's 4. But it doesn't mean it actually reasoned or it actually tried to do the calculation itself. No, it just took out the information that it found in its knowledge. Similar way, if you would ask a year ago a ChatGPT a more sophisticated calculation, it would certainly be making mistakes. Well, now with new reasoning models, we are able to see the models that actually think before they answer, which means that the model actually tries to stop, tries to pause, and tries to do this calculation or this reasoning essentially for you. So these models are a new way, let's say a new wave in AI as well. They require different prompting techniques and generally it's a bit of a different application field. Let me know also in the comments, have you tried playing around with them and what use cases you found most useful? The second one, it's resurgence of deep research. We've seen a lot of different companies introducing those deep research. We've seen it first from Gemini in December last year, and last month it was also introduced by Perplexity, which is free to use even. I would advise you to do so. 5 generations a day, it's free. And now even OpenAI. So we have it now even in Europe, in European Union. You have 10 generations, I believe only in Plus accounts, so the paid account, 10 generations in about a month or 2 months of time, which you can use. These deep research models are, or maybe also you can call them agents, they are powered by those reasoning models, which means they would take longer to answer or to prepare this thorough analysis. They do not just summarize the data that they found somewhere in their knowledge base, but they would actually reason through the data and do thorough analysis as well. And great news for our European friends who are listening to this. We have Sora now as well available since basically since 2 days. And you can see it now if you open your ChatGPT Plus account, you will see it where you typically seen custom GPTs. I will also demonstrate you later how to find it. Sora is essentially a very powerful video generation tool from OpenAI. And the last but not least, it's EU AI Act. So what happened in the past months? Also quite some changes. At the beginning of February, there were enforcement of two of the regulations of EU AI Act. One of them is that all high-risk AI systems are now prohibited, such as systems that do monitoring or emotion recognition and so on. And companies are not allowed to use them in European Union. And also that AI literacy is now required. It's a requirement. So if your company is using any sort of AI systems, maybe a custom developed ChatGPT or a Microsoft Copilot, the employees all must be trained to use these systems and must be aware of the also consequences, also data privacy questions, also ethical questions of AI use. And the last but not least, also AI Action Summit in Paris. So it was a big deal as well for European Union. We've seen huge investment from InvestAI initiative, 200 billion euro that will be invested in different AI projects and for development of bigger models from European Union, which is great news. Okay, now before we jump to our topic of today, LinkedIn, let me quickly introduce you why are we even here and what are we doing. So we are developed this AI leadership roadmap, which includes those monthly AI LinkedIn lives where we discuss what's new in AI and focus on specific application topic of AI. By the end of the month, usually it's a fourth Tuesday of the month or last Tuesday of the month, we also have deep dive workshops where we actually diving deep into the topics that we touched upon in those LinkedIn lives. And this month it will be AI-powered executive LinkedIn presence. And we also have exclusive LinkedIn group for those who join this roadmap where we share basically on a daily basis different use case, different tips, learning materials. So it's really a very immersive program. We go through 9 months and 9 modules. Last week, we started with different chatbots and different advanced prompting techniques. We talked about those new reasoning models. This month, we are diving deep into LinkedIn. We will be also covering topics like research, data analysis with AI, content creation, copywriting, pitch deck creation, personal productivity with AI, developing custom AI tools, automation workflows, agents, and of course, ethical AI use. Yeah, and as I mentioned, the topic of this month is AI-powered executive LinkedIn presence, where we'll talk about how to write LinkedIn copy that resonates, how to use AI for strategic networking approaches, how to use your data and analyze your data with AI to improve your LinkedIn strategies, and AI-powered executive profile optimization, which we'll touch upon today as well. So now I promised you that we will have Begonia on the call today as well. And it's actually her digital avatar, which I found very much like her. So she has a message for you.
Hi, I'm Begonia, and today I want to share a game changer for leaders, building your leadership brand on LinkedIn. In today's world, people don't just listen to what brands say, they pay attention to the voices behind them. And that's why your presence on LinkedIn is more than just personal branding, it's influence. Establishing a strong presence on LinkedIn, it's a strategic advantage. By showing up consistently, you position yourself as an industry authority, gaining trust and credibility through shared insights. Visibility is just as crucial. Hi, I'm Begonia, and today I want to share a game changer for leaders, building your leadership brand on LinkedIn. In today's world, people don't just listen to what brands say, they pay attention to the voices behind them. And that's why your presence on LinkedIn is more than just personal branding, it's influence. Establishing a strong presence on LinkedIn, it's a strategic advantage. By showing up consistently, you position yourself as an industry authority, gaining trust and credibility through shared insights. Visibility is just as crucial as competence. Your presence defines your influence. Position yourself as a thought leader by sharing real-world insights that drive meaningful conversations. Engage authentically to spark discussions that matter, fostering trust and credibility within your network. Be more than a leader. Be the face of your company's culture and vision, shaping perceptions and setting the standard for innovation and growth. How to use AI.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed. Looking at digital avatar of Begonia and also capturing her insights. She is a leader in tech, and she empowers women in tech in STEAM as well to build their careers and to strive. And her digital avatar, as you already probably known or have noticed, is done with Hygiene, which is a great tool for create lookalike avatars. And yeah, you're welcome to try it out. You can also use it for your LinkedIn strategy. Okay, now let's dive deep into the actual LinkedIn use cases. I want to present you 3 of those today, and I hope you will be able to hear me as well, because what I want to present you now is how to optimize your LinkedIn profile with AI, with Google AI Studio. For this, just let me try to unplug my mic, and tell me as well in the comments if you will be able to hear me and hear what AI is saying. I will start sharing my screen. And I want to check as well if you're able to hear me now. So what we are looking at, we're looking at the Gemini, actually at Google AI Studio. And you've probably heard of Gemini before. So Gemini is the chatbot of Google. Just give me a second. I will see if I'm audible. So Gemini is a chatbot from Google, and they have a really great feature, which is called Stream Real Time. So essentially, you can show everything you do to Gemini and ask it questions. And we're going to use it to optimize our LinkedIn profile. So let me try and share my screen. Hi, Gemini. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, it's actually my own LinkedIn profile page, and I want to know how I can optimize it. So I'm offering consulting and AI consulting, AI training for SMEs, and I want to convert more leads with my page. Yeah. Yeah, can you help me optimize my headline? Yeah, just give me some suggestions. How can I make it more, impactful, and so that I can convert more leads? Yeah, it does. Okay, maybe tell me, how can I optimize my about section? I feel like it's a bit too long. Okay, so it was a live, right, live demonstration. I was hoping that you are able to hear Gemini talking back to me, but you were not. I see now in the comments that you are not able to hear it. But I would strongly advise you to go and try it yourself. So what I was just doing, you saw, I entered the Google Studio and then I started to share my screen, and essentially I was on my LinkedIn profile and I was asking Gemini, and it was replying back to me in real time. So I was asking, how is my headline? Can you optimize my headline? This is probably something you heard. What you didn't hear is that actually Gemini talking back to me and saying, hey, your headline is great, but you can add more use cases, or you can make it more even more impactful by adding some figures and so on. And the same was for my about section. And this is exactly the strategy which you can use already now to start optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So this was one strategy. And yeah, let me try to show you a different one, which will hopefully work. Okay, so what we are looking at now is essentially a LinkedIn content analyst. And this is the custom GPT that I created personally to analyze LinkedIn post performance. So what it does, it will analyze basically up to 50 posts. I guess that's the limit. Essentially, what you should do, you should provide it the URL of your LinkedIn profile, and then the date from which you want to start the analysis. And let's do it for this year. So from 1st of January. It will take a few times, or not a few times, but it will take some times. I developed it with Relevance AI. So, and this is another tool. It's a bit more technical, but still it's actually, it does not require any code or anything like that. And yeah. So just let me, yeah. So while it's analyzing, let me show you where you can find Sora. So if you open ChatGPT, if you have ChatGPT Plus, on the left side, you will have now Sora. So this is, I know it's something that if you're watching from the US, you've probably already seen, but for me, it was new because I only got it 2 days ago. And I think it's really, really great. So this is something that, just a few examples, what you can do with this powerful tool. Some of the videos are really creative. Yeah. Okay, it's still analyzing. Let me maybe see, because I did similar analysis yesterday and it worked well. So this is, I'm just showing you what I did yesterday with the same, basically with the same tool. I will share with you the link as well in the comments, in the chat. So I asked it the same, I sent it my profile URL and the date from which it should analyze my posts. And then it retrieved my LinkedIn posts. This tool does not always retrieve them, but in 80% of cases it would do it. And the great about it is that it does not only show my LinkedIn posts. So I posted 19 posts from 1st of January, but also it shows the media type, for example, whether it's an image, a carousel, a video post. It shows the amount of likes, comments, reposts. and and the URL. And the great about it is that you will actually see that it's an actual URL of the post. So because typically if you would do it also maybe half a year ago, it would just show something, but not the actual URL. So currently it's showing it correctly. And then once you have all your posts, it starts the analysis. So it will show something like engagement trends over time. You can always switch to interactive chats. So not just with this tool, but basically with any tool. And then, for example, you see that I had a really huge engagement on 17th of February. And then it tells also top performing posts. So this is exactly the one on the 17th of February. I posted a carousel about deep research by Perplexity, and then it got a lot of engagements. So it would also calculate the engagement rate and engagement by media type, and then also key insights. So for example, it says, okay, there's a carousel, they would lead in total engagement. This is something I noticed for me as well. Videos have the lowest engagement. And then some recommendation like, okay, optimize your posting schedule, leverage AI, prioritize carousel content. But it's just the initial analysis. Of course, you could then go and ask it, for example, what posting days have higher engagement. And then it would go and analyze, again, this data that it has about my LinkedIn posts, and it will come up with the solution. So currently, by the way, if you're interested, if you are doing those custom GPTs by yourself, they typically would be using 4.0 model. So ChatGPT 4.0. This is just something I think, or some people ask me sometimes. So yeah, I hope you find it useful. As mentioned, I will share the link in the comments. Okay, I first have to make it available to public, but then I will share the link in the comments for you. And while we'll still have some time, I will return to it and will show you, but I don't want to waste time now. I want to show you another strategy, which is, let's say, not a very deep strategy for copywriting, but something that can already help you a lot on LinkedIn. So I'm using Claude a lot for copywriting, not just for LinkedIn copy. And typically, I would pre-write my LinkedIn copy by myself. I would only use AI later then to sort of refine it. But you can also use it to write a copy from scratch. So the way I would do it, I would approach it, I would actually provide a lot of examples first. So I would provide a lot of examples of my writing style and would ask it to analyze my writing style, maybe like 10 different posts that I wrote. And then in the same chat, once it's analyzed how I typically write, I would ask it to come up with a copy and would also include some sort of output requirements. So for example, I typically post, so as you can see, the sentences are very short. They rarely go on the next line. So I would actually tell the AI again, tell the chatbot that these are the format outputs. But what you can also do, and not many know about this feature, is that you can choose here the style, how AI replies. And the best part, you can even create your own style. And this is where it will be already helpful, or it will be already, let's say, reminiscent of the way you write, how you would write. So for this, I would also, for example, just paste some of my previous posts. And I have here all my LinkedIn posts, or last 100 LinkedIn posts that I got scraped. And here I would just post. Maybe I would use a sort of separator for them so that it's clear these are different posts. since it's a demonstration, I will not be doing it very, I will not be doing it for 20 minutes, copying and pasting the post, but let's say let's do 3 of them. Okay. So essentially what I did, I chose to create a style, and then I provided writing examples. So LinkedIn writing examples of the way I would usually post it, and then I can create a style. So what Claude does here, it would analyze first my writing style, then it would come up with sort of insights, how I would typically write and what my tone of voice is and so on. And you will be able to save this style as well. So here it says text storyteller, narrative-driven strategic insights that provoke deeper understanding of technological potential. And yeah, so for example, let's name it I think I have a similar name, but let's try it. And then if you want to write something, you can then choose this style. So as you can see, I've just created it, LinkedIn content writing style. And now let's say I will not be coming up with a very long prompt because I'm doing it live, but let's just check how it works with a very simple prompt. Let's also give it a role. And traditional ones. So as mentioned, very simple prompt. Typically I would do it a bit longer. I would put again output format requirements, and I would still include in the prompt a few examples of my writing. And but this is the first step. So what you can use your own writing style. You can train AI to write like you, but then I would still recommend to include a few examples in the prompt itself for the structure. So for example, we could go in this chat and say, make it sound more like me and format it by making the sentences shorter and removing emojis. Here's the example of a LinkedIn post written by me. So this is just an example how you could go on about it. And then as you can see, it already formats it at least the way that I would typically do it. So this is the very easy use cases, how you can already start integrating AI today in your, to improve your LinkedIn positioning. And I think we are out of time. I will quickly show you this analysis that the ChatGPT did, this LinkedIn content analyst did about the posting days that had the highest engagement. And as you can see, it took some time to do the analysis, but then it tells, hey, it's actually Monday for you. But obviously, probably I posted sort of well-performing content on Monday. So it says it's a Monday. So you'll have to think how you put the questions and how you look into them. Yeah, so let me just quickly look at the chat and see if you have some questions. Okay, I think there is not that many questions. Then let me actually share with you this LinkedIn content analyst. I will make it now not public, but so that anyone with the link could use it, and then I will provide you with the link so that you can try it with your own profile already. Yeah. So I just shared it in the chat, and there are some questions, I think. What's important when starting using AI to make my LinkedIn better? I think not over reliance on AI, right? Because you cannot just ask AI, hey, write me an about section for my LinkedIn profile, because it will not do well. So what's important is that either you do as we just did, live sharing, so that AI sees the context. So it sees, okay, this is your current headline, this is your current about section, these are your experiences and skills, and then it will suggest something. But then you also have to tell what exactly are you trying to reach with your headline, or with your, for example, headline or about section. Are you trying to convert more leads, find better job opportunities, or what are you trying to achieve, and who are you? And once you have all this context information, then you can give it to AI, and then to ask it to help you. And also not over reliance in terms of content creation or copywriting. Currently, we see a lot of AI generated posts, which are poorly generated, let's say, and then everybody sounds sort of the same, even if people are using those copywriting frameworks and those templates from, I don't know, Justin Welsh, who is like a LinkedIn personal branding expert. Then everybody just sounds the same. And this is not what you want to do with your personal brand. So personal brand should be distinctive. It's your identity that you put out there. And typically, even your copy should include this brand identity, whether you're more emotional or more conservative, maybe even including sort of keywords that people associate only with you, with your personality, or with your brand. So I think this is not something that AI can easily replicate unless you train it, right? So if you have a huge amount of posts that are written by you, that include your brand voice and brand identity, then AI can mimic it and can write more or less in a similar style. So this is something that I would recommend. What should AI companies should do to operate in EU? You talked about AI Act before. It's really, I'm not a lawyer. I know about only what you can also find through, let's say, Perplexity research. AI companies, you should first check all this AI EU Act. I would recommend also using tools, because obviously you do not want to lose yourself in all this legal and technical jargon. So you can use as well something like Perplexity to try and make a summary for you. You can also describe your company first. What exactly are you doing? Are you a startup? Are you an established business? What kind of systems you operate? I know that there are those 3 or 4 levels of systems that currently, for example, there are prohibited systems, that the ones, or prohibited AI tools, which use, let's say, this emotional recognition and facial recognition and so on, and personal scoring. So these are prohibited, but then you'll have to check for your specific use case, what exactly are you doing with AI, and whether it's allowed, or whether you have to make it transparent. For example, now you always have to make transparent that you use AI, even if you use it in the content creation, so that your customers are aware about it. And of course, if you have a bigger company, or even like a smaller business, you have to make sure that your employees are trained to use those systems that you're using. For the business purposes, the company positioning on LinkedIn, can I use the same framework? I'm not sure what framework do you mean. If you mean something that I was talking about, also in terms of copywriting or in terms of profile optimization, I think you can do it the same way. Yeah. Yeah, of course, for the business, you should differentiate your personality from your brand, unless you are a personal brand business in a way. Although still, I would differentiate, because your business might have a different voice as well, the brand voice. So, for example, what I want to communicate with my business, with Aims AI Made Simple, and this is something I'm working on like establishing the brand identity, is really that AI can be made simple, or it doesn't have to be this complex language and complex jargon and complex solutions. If you can do something simpler that will work, or this is something that I'm noticing in working with businesses, that sometimes there is an urge to build a complex agent or a complex workflow, while it doesn't make sense, because you can simply use off-the-shelf tool to do the same, and then it will not break because of some changes in the API setup or something. So that's why I think it's sometimes people out there overcomplicate this whole AI automation topics. But yeah, so this is just a side note. Sometimes it's good if you think about what your brand identity is and what your language is, and then maybe use a different ones if you have a different ones for yourself and for your business. Okay, there is also something from Regina. In Claude, could you save various tones of voice, for example, my personal profile, and for a company that would work? Yes, sure. In Claude, you can save many different tones of voice. I'm using it. I'm doing it as well. So currently, as you can saw in the demo, I saved this for from my personal LinkedIn posts, and you can do it as well. You can even, let's say, sort of train AI for somebody else's posts if you want to do it. Maybe it's not the best or the most ethical approach, but at least it will allow you to learn or to practice also your copywriting skills, so you can save as many tones of voice as you wish. Yeah. Okay, I think we are already a bit over time. Georg has shared his AI clone. Very good, very nice. I did share indeed this content analyst link, but let me try to reshare it again. It was from Net4Tech, right? It was not from Valeria, it was from Net4Tech. So let me just try to reshare it. Okay, why are you saying I did not share it? I think I did. Let me try from my different profile. Share. Just a second. Okay, now it should be working, hopefully. So thank you very much for your participation, and I hope you gain some insights. As mentioned, we will have a really deeper dive into the whole LinkedIn topic with more strategic approaches, with more diving deeper into the copywriting, into the profile optimization, into the networking approaches on the 4th Tuesday of March, which is 25th of March. So let me know if you would like to join it. And I will also paste link in the comments where you can join. And have a great day and a lot of success with using AI for your LinkedIn efforts.